Fine. Leave me here.
Am I back to do pants runs today? No. Hi everyone. How are you doing? Let me really quickly here get my chats open and everything because I just very quickly threw this together. I just got home but a few minutes ago, and so forgive me, but I am still putting this together here. Let's see here. What do I need to do to get YouTube chat open? Oh, YouTube chat. What are you, darling? There you are. How are you guys all doing? Are you hyped to find out what the new class is? Reveal should be any minute now. Hey, Audra, thank you so much for the sub. Heart for you. Let me get you a party popper. You were gonna nap? Thanks, Audra. You're awesome. You all agree that we don't want Sisters of Battle. Hey, Ironhead, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Let me get one more thing popped out here. All right, we should be good to go. Good enough for government work. Let's see. The trailer should be up any second now. This will be good. Sam Walcroft, thanks so much for the sub. Heart for you. Party popper time. Where is it? Where is it? Thanks, you're awesome, Sam. Where's the trailer? Let's see. I see the Vermintide one. Any second now. Any second now. Hey, Darude Sandstorm backwards. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yes, also, Qbot is open if you guys would like to play. I don't know how many games I'll do after. Disneysaurus Rex, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You don't even know what you want the class to be? Oh, fuck. Well, that ruined it, didn't it? There we go. All right. Here's the actual trailer, though, you guys. Yes, so it is Hive Ganger, which I know there might be some hesitation around because a lot of people are like, man, I don't want it to be Hive Ganger. And I understand that's how I felt about our BDs. Now, we do have a little bit of extra information on the end of like things that I know that I have been told we can tell you guys about. Worst possible choice. I don't know. It all kind of depends on how it plays, right? And the funny thing is that I was actually just playing Darktide with some people yesterday who were saying like, oh, I want things in the game that are actually going to be a part of this class. And I just like had to not say anything. Stim Maxer. Did I know? We got our press kits yesterday. So I did not know until yesterday. Where's your unrealistic expectation, tech priest? You see that axe hatchet weapon? Yes. They got gang sisters on the table now? Is it? You should have known Eldar were off the table. I don't necessarily think that Eldar are off the table. I think that potentially it's on the table. It just will probably... So my general rule of thumb is that anytime something is name dropped in Darktide, you have to let it sit for at least a year before you wanted feeling it's... Yeah, same. You have to let it sit for at least a year before any actual movement might happen with it. Where's your Furby masks? What, in Darktide? I also wanted Mechanicus. I will be completely upfront with you guys. I also was on the team where I was fully on Team AdMech too. Till another enemy faction comes, you sleep. That's fair. Wonder how our BD's ganger interactions will happen. So, okay, you guys want to know what this class is? You're going to get to pick like custom stims. So you guys know the stim modifier that's currently in Darktide, at least in Havoc, if you play Havoc, where enemies can stim themselves, and it seems like they do, like the blue one seems to do somewhat different things than just like making them attack faster and stuff like that. You're going to get that. I don't know if it'll be specifically that, but so, like essentially a player version of that, it sounds like. Let's see, there's gonna be dual wielding. Just another normal person with guns. Meh. I mean, we'll see. Will it be the same price as our BDs? Yes, as far as I know. Also, Redaline and Mr. Tsumi, you guys are up. You redeemed Furby mask? Oh shit, I'm sorry. It didn't play the thing. So what's the new class? It is Hive Gang. I will put on the Furby mask. We're supposed to get more classes after this. I believe so, yeah. Wait. Hive Scum, Joe? Oh, sorry. Hive Scum. Also, you guys, I'm sorry. I know this will be frightening for some people, but I have to put on a Furby mask now because Twitch said so. Will it come with more melee weapons than Ogren? I'm not exactly sure what the full lineup of their available, People are going insane in the Darktide Discord? Oh no. Any legal leaks about the gameplay of the Ganger that you can share? Yes. Being able to make your own sims and dual wield is exactly what you'd want from a Hive Ganger. They're known for doing insane things. Yes. This mask is much scarier than anything you've seen in game. So I've seen some people saying that, like, Hive Gang makes no sense narratively. Maybe I'll wait until I don't have to have the Furby mask on anymore. So then I can actually, like, possibly be taken seriously whenever I talk about how this does make a lot of sense narratively, specifically for the story, and also fills in a gap that we've been missing thematically in Darktide. I know, the Furby mask really brings on a feeling of seriousness, I know. You get to hit people with pipes. Gen X, do you want to hop in this game? We have an open spot, and it's on private. What's new weapons? Tubes and garbage? No, there's I believe there's a needler gun. There's a couple types of dual wielding pistols. Water Cartel could easily be Hive Gang. That's one of the ones that you'll... So whenever you're building your character, Water Cartel is one of the ones you'll be able to choose from. Last class was a cop. Now you're a gangster who shoots drugs and beats people with a pry bar. I believe that there'll be more than one dual pistol. We'll do one round, and then after that, I'll show you guys the different, like, pictures and things that I have, and then, we'll see if anybody wants to play. Teasers about Hadron doing secret stuff. And the Mobian Steel led you on.
Why are these soldiers hanging back? What do they know that I don't?
Kindly confine communication.
Mr. Storm, you're in the queue. Scab Hunter, you're in the queue.
Edifice, but the wheels of industry grind us all.
What caused the 1 week delay? Something having to do with Games Workshop, apparently. How long am I planning to stream? I don't know, Vitriax. I just hopped on quickly. I do have stuff that I need to do today. Like, I have, like, you know, mom and wife things that I need to do today. Like, run some errands and things. So I probably won't be on for too long.
You know a demon horse when you hear one.
This way.
I don't know, you guys. Whenever our BDs got announced, I was very much in the vein of, like, I do not give a Kentucky Fried fuck about this, because it's just a guy with a dog, and the dog can only handle one target at a time. And then, like, I was super duper wrong about our BDs. I was so unexcited by it. I was like, I don't care about role-playing Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd doesn't really do much for me. The dog seems pretty mid and lame as fuck if it can only do one target at a time. On paper, I thought that it sounded like the most unenthusing, bland milquetoast class that could have been conceived of. What are we doing? Where are we going, you guys? Can I take this mask off yet? One more minute. It's not the gameplay, but the theme that bothers you? You don't want to be able to customize your character significantly more than other ones? I'll show you guys in a minute. But I mean, like, I know that one of the big complaints about our BDs is like, oh, we never get any new cosmetics for it. And, the thing about that is that if you think about it from, because, like, again, Games Workshop are the gatekeepers of everything. You wonder why that trailer got delayed a week? It's because of Games Workshop. There was something in the marketing materials that they didn't like, and they said no, like last minute. That's why they waited until 0 hour to delay it, because they were trying to, like, get shit worked out with Games Workshop. I haven't had any details confirmed, but I have had this more or less confirmed, that this is what happened. And so also where the Arbites is concerned, like, Arbites, if you think about it, so Games Workshop, the whole thing right now seems to be that they are getting into different types of media and then taking what's popular from that and then trying to harness that into, like, marketing that will translate into model sales for them. And whenever you think about it in that context, that's why we're highly unlikely to ever get any, like, major meaningful cosmetics for our BDs, because our BDs typically have one look in the current range of models that you can go to your local, like, gaming store and pick up a box off the shelf of our BD stuff and say, like, I will buy this and take this home. There's really one look. And so to not cause brand confusion and to try and get people to like buy something because they recognize it visually, you're probably never really going to see different cosmetics for that class in Darktide. Hello, Amy. It's fun and ironic that Games Workshop are critical of third parties mishandling their IP when they've done so much to self-destruct. It's a meme now. Do us Hive gamers have a bunch of games compared to IRBDs? Yes, and also because like Hive gangers would be as unique to essentially, you know, like they're different gangs. They're different gangs and like the Hive cities that they're from and everything. There's really nothing like creating a like locked condition for what they should look or feel like. Can dual wield guns and daggers? Yes, there is. It's okay, guys. We'll take it again. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of talking. Mystery had a darn good guess then. Yes. Well, Mystery was also using some data mine stuff, and then also whenever he did like his stream for what was it called? Bound by Duty. He apparently a bunch of people in his chat were like talking about this, and so he kind of put about the potential of like a Hive gang class coming to the game. And he took like that, you know, kind of, he was like, oh, actually that makes a lot of sense with broker and stuff like that, and kind of use that as a framework. Hey guys, give me a second here. I'm gonna open up the press kit that I have. So let me really quickly here show you guys some of the stuff that we got to see. And it was asked yesterday. We were told that we could show this, so I think that I'm fine to show you guys this stuff. I'm pretty sure. So here's, for example, the different like hairstyles that you're going to be able to choose from. You're going back to bed? Oh no, I'm so sorry. Audie, thanks for the raid. Hello, hello. Don't understand why Games Workshop is so against kit bashing when it's a mainstay of the hobby. Why are people so miffed about this? I'll tell you why. So it has nothing to do with being just another person with a gun, or having, or, you know, the potential of something that might step on veterans' toes. Like, oh, it's like veteran. Oh, it's like, you know, whatever other class that this class may or may not actually play like. I honestly don't know yet. I haven't had my hands on it yet personally either. But I can tell you that there's a fuck ton of people who are super into the idea of a Sisters of Battle being its own class in Darktide, or super into the idea of Ratlings existing as a class in Darktide. And those are two prime examples of a new class that would absolutely be smothering a class that already exists in the game. It has nothing to do with being concerned that this is just going to be another boring generic person with a gun, and everything to do with the 40k rule of cool factor. This isn't Sisters of Battle. This isn't Ratlings. This isn't Tech Priest. This isn't something super iconic 40k. And so therefore people don't see any potential that it could have, because it isn't iconic 40k cool. And that's fine. I have been for a long time saying like Darktide needs something in it that is iconic 40k cool. You know, it needs something iconic to get fingers on the keyboards and mouses, controllers in hand, people that are willing to come back to the game or to buy the game for the first time. And so I can understand, like, Hive Gang is like, oh, that's a Necromunda thing. That's not a 40k thing. But that has nothing to do with how rad this will very likely be to play. Mads Dragon, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Because Fat Shark makes, like, the one of I would say probably the thing that Fat Shark is good at. The one thing that they are very good at is making mechanically tight, good quality, fun to play games. So I think that whatever this ends up playing like is probably going to be dope as fuck. I've heard from playtesters that they've said that this is genuinely the most fun class in the game. We'll see. I mean, BFG, that's completely fine if that's your stance, but like, you have no idea if this is a turd. I don't either. I haven't played it. I mean, again, it just kind of seems like you are shitting on something because it's not like Sisters of Battle or something iconic 40K cool. And that's fine if that's disappointing. Again, like I said, I have been a big proponent of Darktide needs something iconic. I was also hoping for AdMech. But, Nurgle, thanks for the sub. Hard for you. Get you a party popper. You have no idea how to feel. Feels like a downgrade, especially that intro. Meh. But anyways, this is what they're going to look like hairstyle wise and everything like that. And then, yes, they will have dual wield pistols and knives, I believe, at the very least. You'll be able to choose from a few different Hive gang factions. Walter White. Yes, you'll be able to make Walter White. Dual wield Mac 10s. Weskier, thank you for the sub. Hard for you. Pop you a party popper. It looks like something from Sea of Thieves. It gave me big Fallout vibes. Thanks, you're awesome. Oh, and thank you for the follow. Welcome. Sisters of Battle are too close to Space Marines? Sisters of Battle aren't Space Marines at all. Let's see. Red and Line hopped out, so I mean Scab Hunter, you are up. Looks like Vault Hunter from Borderlands. They give me big Fallout 3 vibes. CEO Norman Osborne, thank you for the follow. Welcome. There's going to be a new Operation Lazy Bones, which I also have no idea what's in that, but I have some ideas. I mean, no matter what, there's going to be a group of people who would be mad. If it was Rattling, there would have been a lot of people who were pissed. If it was going to be Sisters of Battle, there would have been a lot of people who were pissed. Merleon, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, and also I highly doubt that this will be the last class that they ever do. Can we do Damnation? Yeah, that's what we were doing before. Cosmic Headache! Thank you so much for the sub! Hard for you! Our BD's reveal was a golden standard. Fat Shark spoiled us and now we're just greedy for good reveal trailers. Also sad. There will be no playable Bane Blade. Thanks, Cosmic Headache. Curiosity. Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest disappointment here, is that we don't get to play a Bane Blade. I agree.
Sergeant Major Morrow, the situation in
Apparently new op is in the trenches of a... Now, don't get too literal with that, you guys. I don't know if this new operation is actually going to be trench warfare or not. They might be saying that you're getting thrown into the trenches of Atoma as, like, the common term of, like, getting thrown into the trenches is in, like, it's going to be a test of strength kind of thing. Yes, Beachside, it did let you queue. Do know that I probably won't be playing too terribly long. I just wanted to hop on and do this and kind of get to talk about this because I knew that there was going to be some thoughts and some feelings to work through together. Where's your Dreadnought class? Yeah. Why am I not a Dreadnought? Weskier, let's see. We have one more full strike team after this one, and that might be all I have time for. There are a lot of people, Wendy, that disagree with you that would have been pissed if it was Ratling, because then it would have, you know, taken over Vet's spot. A lot of people disagree with Sisters of Battle too, because that's just Zealot with extra steps. Also, it's really weird to me the amount of people that would be pissed off if there was a Sisters of Battle class, because it would be women only, and that makes them mad whenever, like, Ogren exists. And that's only male. Because I'm trying to outfit the Storm Raptor. There you go.
They're pumping filth into the silos. We can't have that, can we? Fight your way into the silo and eliminate.
Well, WCLV, I don't agree with that at all. I think that video games, I think that trying to take like that whole customer is always right angle and be like, oh, well, developers should only make things that an audience wants to see is a really bad way to do things, because then you get things like the current Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which is a big steaming pile of shit because they tried as hard as they possibly could to jam ideas and concepts from other games that are currently out and popular that could steal from their normal potential player base. And they made an unholy abomination of god-awful slop. It's the worst COD launch, I think, ever. Whenever Black Ops 6, just 1 year before, was the biggest and best received COD launch ever. So, yeah, if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. For sure, for sure. Class has potential. Excited to hear Ganger personalities. No, unfortunately the next class isn't Angron, nor is it a dueling sword, nor is it a Bane blade, nor is it the Emperor himself. I know those are all some top options. Isn't class free? No. Extra classes in Darktide, the Arbites was a paid for class, and this will also be a paid for one. What unique weapons am I expecting? Luis, we already know, I think, all of them. There's going to be dual wielding knives, so dual wield melee, dual wield range as well. I think there's 2 dual wield range options. They get a bone saw. They also are going to have toxic, like toxic bombs and stuff like that, as well as unique chem like stim options. So you're gonna be able to buff yourself with unique chems, and it's in the press kit that we got. It says that it's like individual, like your own customized stim. I don't know if that means that it's like a set that you'll choose from in the tree, like your blitz ability, or if that means that you can literally like customize your own thing. You're gonna get like chemical weapons that will have AoE effects and tox kits. The Discord is unhappy. Yeah, it's not surprising. Can't wait to see the medic in TF2 in Darktide. Yeah, there's a bone saw weapon. Devblog on Steam community page that breaks it down. It probably has a lot of the same information I have. I'll admit, I was a little gun shy about just like breaking out all of the notes and then like reading them, because I wasn't entirely sure. I'm like, I think I'm okay to say this, but if it's in the blog, then I can break it down. Do we have an ETA on when the news will drop? Morgan, it already dropped. We watched the trailer. Think we'll be able to put the deluxe haircuts on other classes? Probably not. I would assume that it's going to be exclusive to the class. Because, I mean, like, you can't take your Arbites helmet and put it on other characters. Dual wielding passive thing for the Ganger? I think it just depends on what weapon you take, probably. Because, I mean, like, obviously you're not going to be able to dual wield shotguns or something like that. At least I would assume not. Hive gang in a hive city? No, that's impossible. Oh, right. So I was going to talk about why. So, okay. I was going to do more class speculation videos, actual class speculation videos. And, but I told myself that once I had a press kit in hand, I wouldn't make any more of them. Because also, this has been a big learning experience for me in, essentially just like what to do for content in situations like this where we're like, oh, there's a mysterious class. And like this whole tease, whenever we're told like, oh, a new class is coming with nothing, like whenever the Arbides 5-second teaser came out, it was pretty clear, like, if it wasn't Arbides, then it was going to be something like fucking Gene Stealers or something like that. And we weren't sure if it was a class or not. We just saw, like, 5 seconds of a, you know, fisheye lens camera POV and 5 seconds of that from what ended up being the dog's point of view and then nothing else. Oh, shit. Do not do that, Joe. So, I mean... obviously, that was a much different beast because it was pretty obvious, like, all right, this is either going to be Arbides and that's a Cybermassive, or this isn't, it's going to be like Gene Stealers or something like that. New enemy or something. And so this was significantly different because we were told, oh, there's a new class coming, and then nothing else. So literally it was like, sky's the limit. It could be fucking anything. It could have been Gene Stealers as a player class. We don't fucking know. But it seemed like there was a bit of fatigue with the speculation, and then also like it is just so super clear to me after having done those videos and been on the side where, you know, like I see all the comments on YouTube and stuff like that, that nobody was gonna be happy. There's still gonna be a lot of really upset people no matter what this class ended up being, no matter what. Even if it was AdMech, I think AdMech would have had the least, like the smallest pool of upset people, but there still would have been a lot of really pissed off people, even if it was AdMech. Sisters of Battle probably would have had as many pissed off people as Hive Gang. Ratling probably would have had as many pissed off people as Hive Gang. You know, at this point, everybody has their own personal, like, favorite power fantasy thing. And it's just gonna be impossible to meet all of those specific niche interests. So I told myself whenever I got my press kit, I wasn't gonna make any more speculation videos, and I had the next one pretty much done, and it was Hive Gang, for that speculation. And so I shelved it. I was like, well, I guess I don't get to put this one up because it was pretty much done, and then I got my press kit. But anyways, in that, I talk about how this is actually, if it is Hive Gang, that makes the most sense to me. This is what I expected the entire time, ever since that Stolen Rations event came out, for 2 reasons. One, the Stolen Rations event was a deviation from Fat Shark's pattern. Fat Shark's MO for community engagement and stuff like that is usually one of 2 things. Either one, they don't really communicate much, and we go like long spans of time without updates or information, and
I'll keep your distance.
And you know, we're just kind of like playing the hurry up and wait game until they're ready to say something. Or they'll do something like the Arbides teaser, and also what I'm expecting from this trailer, where they make an announcement, they release some kind of thing, and then we get, you know, like a blog post a week, we'll get some extra videos and stuff, and they're kind of like companion pieces with each other, where it's like, here's a video kind of showing stuff, and then here's a blog with more information. Here's a video showing some stuff, here's a blog with more information. And usually there's at least like one Q&A blog where oh shit. There's usually at least one Q&A blog where they take the most common questions amongst the community, or the, like, more high-level questions that maybe only a few people have. Can I have my bubble shield, please? There we go.
I have a shield.
And then answer those all together in one, like, concise blog post for everyone. This Stolen Rations event was a big deviation from their normal pattern, where they were like, hey, we're making an event in-game that also ends the day before the class is announced. And this event, in-game event, is driven by community engagement. Like, what happens in the event is dictated by what the community does. Which is a big deviation from the pattern. Anytime Fat Shark deviates from the pattern, we should all, like, that's whenever you want to pay attention to something. And then, of course, it coinciding the day, it ending the day before the class announcement, the original class announcement date before fucking Games Workshop went and fucked that up. That kind of tells you, like, these things are going to go together. And then the actual event was all to do narratively with the people of Tertium. Because with the stolen rations, if you recover them, then you get to give food back to the hungry people of Tertium. But if you destroy them, or, well, if you keep them, they go back to the hungry people of Tertium, then they are gonna get turned because the rations are tainted. And then if you destroy them, you're essentially telling people, like, okay, well, you're just gonna have to go hungry. And then the people of Tertium get pissed off, and then they start rioting. So whenever you couple those two things together, it tells you, okay, so this class probably has something to do with the people of Tertium. It's less about the actual food rations, because I know a lot of people were like, oh, what's about rations? Obviously it has to be ratlings, because ratlings like to eat. And I was like, I think you might be missing the forest for the trees here a little bit, you guys. Story-wise. But whenever we play Darktide, like this map, pretty much all the maps, especially the Carnival sticks out to me like a sore thumb. There's something very important that's missing from Darktide, because this is a hive city, right? There are 90 billion people in Tertium, supposedly, with a B. That is gargantuan for a hive city, even by 40K standards. Most hive cities, not that big. So whenever we go through these missions and all the streets are empty and there's no signs of life anywhere, it doesn't feel like we're fighting a war to save as many lives as possible in a populated hive city, and that there are really any stakes. Bringing in a class that is, in part, the people of Tertium. And also, I mean, like, these are going to be, so the hive gangers that are left, even if they're water cartel, and, like, you know, obviously Zola's like, oh, no love lost for the water cartel, blah, blah, blah. These are going to be, like, the only leadership that the common person has left in zones like the Carnival and the Torrent and things like that. Because we've been told the enforcers, even the Arbites, the magistrate, abandoned these people long before the invasion ever happened. So the hive gangs are likely the people that have been, like, watching out for common people, sticking up for them, and then also in their regular operations where they're, you know, like, running supplies, people, money, things like that around the hive city. They're seeing what's happening, like, in a very real and visceral way, what Admonition is doing, more than even the fucking Arbites do. Like, almost guaranteedly, pretty much nobody is paying attention or gives a fuck about people who live down here. And so it's just left to the people that live there still to give a fuck. Eldar would have been stupid? Hey man, I still think Eldar are probably coming as a class. I think the new class is gonna have so much fun with Arbites. Thought we've been slowly killing our way through these 90 billion residents. There's a place where you have to draw the line between lore implication and things that be that way because the game needs it. And, well, yes, Tertium being such a gargantuan hive city, I'm sure, is at least in part in service of, like, explaining how there are so many infected people for us to kill all the time. I don't think that it's an unfair thing to say, like, we should still expect in a game where we're told, like, Exterminatus is not an option. The whole point is to try to save as many lives as possible, everything like that, that we should expect that there would be some level of common person still around. Looks really good. Rocket launcher is gonna be rad as fuck. Oh, is there a rock? I hadn't heard about a rocket launcher. How about playing as rations? Perks, thank you so much for the bits. Hang on, I'll pop you a party popper. Oh, once I'm not getting raged on. Oh, for you. I don't know why Twitch doesn't have... Thanks, you're awesome, Burnix. I don't know why Twitch doesn't have, the fucking notifications go off all the time. Come on, get off, dog! Oh, shit.
Losing too much blood.
People don't care about the poor people of Tertium. What their favorite type of characters in the game. I mean, that's what I said earlier. And I don't necessarily, like, disagree or think that it's wrong to feel disappointed that, like, oh my god, the fucking sun is, like, glaring onto that. Hope we see some Gene Stealer cult weapons, like a flamer pistol. That'd be rad. I don't necessarily think it's like, there, you know, I understand. I've been saying for a long time, we need iconic 40K things in Darktide. I also have a feeling that that's a bit out of Fat Shark's hands. Like, if Games Workshop is so tight-assed that they're going to fuck around and be like, and have a fit about marketing materials for a Hive Gang class, and we won't, you know, we probably won't get any new RBD skins and stuff like that. I have a feeling that the red tape around getting iconic things into Darktide is probably quite the marathon. Matthias Nielsen, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. You something Hive scum should have been the highest priority from a design perspective. I don't know. I think that I would rather play games that have developers behind them that have a vision for what they want to make, and then having that meet a place where it's like, I want to make something, and I also know that we want to make something that people want to play. Lemon Iced Tea, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I think that thinking about games from an angle of, like, game developers should make more things that players want to see is honestly probably not a great road to go down. Think of it like, do we have anyone in the strike team still? No. Mr. Storm, Vitriax, and Beachside Gravy, you guys are up. Let me pull my Darktide code really quick. If you think about it from the perspective of, like, Marvel movies, for example, or honestly a lot of, like, big budget movies these days anymore, they are literally constructed in a boardroom to where people are saying, like, how can we get this to appeal to as many people as possible so then we sell as many tickets as possible so that we can justify the cost of what we spent on this movie. And that is tough because then you end up with movies that are bland milquetoast and terrible and don't really appeal to anybody. Dr. Pershing, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. And I think that video games suffer from a lot of the same problem. Whenever, so I mostly with, like, big AAA titles, but you can see, like, these games, they're becoming worse because, like, you know, they're doing all these like dumbass crossover events that make absolutely no fucking sense. Like Nicki Minaj and Warhammer 40K exist in Call of Duty now. Fucking everything's in Fortnite. Again, I know that these are like terrible examples because they're games that I have a feeling a lot of the sentiment in the community is like, yeah, but I don't like those games anyways. But a lot of people do. Tons of people play them. That's what I'm saying. Like, these are big AAA titles. And like, you know, they're trying to consider every single person and what they can do to appeal to as many of that every single person as possible. And if you think of that in 40K, I mean, look at how diverse the wish list is amongst this community. People, you know, there are some people who want Feelinids. There are some people who fucking hate Feelinids. There are some people that want Rattlings. There are some people who fucking hate Rattlings. There are some people that want Sisters of Battle. There's people who would fucking hate Sisters of Battle. It's just impossible. And I would much rather see Fat Shark make something that they have a vision for and that they know that they can do mechanically well, instead of being like, okay, but people would rather see a Sisters of Battle, so I guess we'll just make Zealot with a unique skin, and I guess we'll tweak, you know, we'll change out a couple of the talents and stuff, and then there you go, there's your new class. You want a Servitor? Week. In the extra week, you think they should have attached a gameplay trailer too? I have a feeling that's coming, Waxo, because usually their method is putting out like the trailer announcement thing, then the next week we'll get a blog expanding more on the stuff that they'll bring to the table, then the next week there'll be gameplay trailer, then a blog that expands on that. That's usually how they do things. Atarodonis, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Hello, Penguin King. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through chats right now. Just saw the trailer. What'd you miss in terms of lore? We don't really know exactly what the story intro is going to be and everything. Everyone hated the new class. I hated the idea of Arbites whenever it was announced. I could not have given a fuck less. Whenever I was like, oh great, it's a cop with a dog and the dog can only handle one target at a time, I was like, I don't know how I'm going to make, you know, how I'm going to try to pretend to be excited about this class because I do not give a fuck. And then Arbites turned out to be great, and I was super wrong. There was egg all over my face because I was super, super wrong. Any idea when there were no gore in the trailer? Wasn't there? I thought that there was a big, like, blood splash and stuff like that.
The current rate of attrition is concerning.
Escher game confirmed.
Standing by?
Yeah, though it'll be a while before they're what I'd call battle ready.
You're in the frame of reference where, for those reasons, you don't think Astartes should be in Darktide. We can hardly handle two anime. I mean, we handle two anime protagonists just fine. Very little blood. That wasn't the case for our beatings. Most people love them beforehand. I'm just saying though, like I'm a prime example because like I don't give a fuck about Judge Dredd. I saw the RBs as just another guy with a gun and a dog. See, whenever we thought about pet classes and stuff, I was like, fuck yeah, you know, let's get something like Sienna's Necromancer. Let's get multiple dogs. Let's get a dog and a falcon. You know, let's do something that, you know, is gonna give us like a lot of variety and stuff, and you know, like all this crazy shit happening. And then they announced it and it was like man with gun with one dog and dog can handle one target at a time, and I was like, fuck. Like I did not give a shit, and I love RBDs now. You know, I actually got my hands on it and got to play it, and I was like, okay, I see now like what the hype is in this. Most people, yeah, a lot of people didn't even know what RBDs was beforehand. Although it was an easy sell because it's Judge Dredd, right? It's just literally Judge Dredd. Watch my YouTube content for a while. I found you after Watcher Tanya's video. I was in the recommended. Oh, well, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. I think Fat Shark needs to do a crossover. I was going to make a video that was like, will the next class be Peppa Pig as a crossover but in the same camp as you about Arbites from the beginning. You never even bought the class because you just don't care about its fantasy or theme. It's a great class. I'm not even bullshitting you, man. It's fantastic to play. The dog is fun. The dog is super helpful. I love dog. Now it's a banger. We need an Arbites LMG. Gotta live life. Have fun. Stay safe, man. Hopefully I'll see you again. You know they were from the Emperor TTS. Not to mention the dog is the only thing you can take that can take a damn hound off you. It's true. Let's see, who are we missing? Beachside! Beachside, are you still here? You on your ogre knuckle dusters? As the heavy? That's fair. You're fine, Bitrax. In these classes, needs to add some Necromundo-inspired stuff. We'll see. Like I said, I haven't gotten to play it yet, so maybe it'll suck. And if it sucks, I'll say like, yeah, this isn't fun. Or, you know, okay, here's the thing. I also don't care for Ogren. I love Ogren as a character. I love Ogren as a concept. I do not play Ogren well. I am bad with Ogren, and it is antithetical to my typical preferred playstyle. So if I were to like make a review now, like if Ogren was revealed to be the new class and I played it, I would be like, I don't like this very much, you guys. So I guess we'll see. In a dead blog, you like the idea that Hive Scum has connections to hard to get goods and are necessary evil to the Imperium. Yeah, they're a lot like rogue traders in that sense. General thoughts on the new class? There's a lot of unenthusiasm, I'll say that. Trailer is not hyped. Just don't understand why have a cab addict when they've been spiked by the 6. Well, okay, part of the point here is that they're making their own, right? Like, these are people who know how to make drugs and stuff like that on their own. They would not be fucking with the tainted, like the tainted ones. Cultists in the trailer also look, too half red, half rust.
There are more ways to die on Atoma than at a heretic's hands.
Soldiers fight wars, but you need places like this to make the weapons for us.
Data interrogators deployed in production, Nexus, Sigma 57.
No, it's not a female-only class. They have male versions. It was just a woman that they showed in the trailer. Kind of like how in the RBD's trailer they only showed a man. Where they lost the people that made the RBD's trailer?
They throw themselves into their
I don't.
work to take their minds off the growing dark.
Good luck with that Needler versus Carapace armor. I mean, good luck with a lot of things that we already have in the game versus Carapace armor. That ain't anything new. Maybe it's just the Gung Fu class, close range gunnery more than melee. Maybe. I don't know. I haven't gotten to play it yet. And they showed, seemed like none can go through armor.
I see how you all
I don't know. I haven't been able. They're also going to get like toxins and stuff like that. So I'm not sure if that will play, if that will be like a major factor into their armor cracking capabilities or anything like that. Oh, I'm saving the bot. I just dived in to save a bot.
I think this is the way.
You've noticed how one of your fellow
Showed emotion, your sentence death. Half Gnome, thanks for the bit. It didn't, I don't know what's up with Twitch and why it isn't always playing the notifications, unless it did play and it just blended in so well that I didn't notice. Joe is a Clanker sympathizer. No, I also wanted Admech. I won't lie. I won't lie, and I see no good reason to not do AdMech from a lore and story perspective too, so.
Concentration step.
I don't necessarily think it would be about Moby and Steel though. I think that it would probably be about the fact that like, it seems pretty obvious that there is someone, a heretic, if not actual dark mech, you know, by like brand name, that they would at least be a heretic working for Admonition. You'll say before you enjoy the stream. Well, I'm probably gonna be wrapping up after this one because unfortunately I have things to do today. But I also wasn't sure if I would even get home in time after taking my kiddo to school to make it in time for the trailer drop. But then I did, and so I was like, fuck it. I'll hop on for a little bit. Orc freebooter. I hope they do orcs as an enemy someday. You do like that we are getting things outside the Militarum and Imperial agents. You're still hoping for Sisters and/or AdMech in the future. I am very much hoping for AdMech in the future. I still just don't know what they could really do with Sisters that would make it, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Actually different. What the fuck is that pox person doing? Like, actually different from Zealot. Different enough that it would warrant being its own thing. I'm hoping, well, not necessarily, I mean, orcs can show up whenever, wherever, just like Shakira, because there's a big fight going on, and of course, boys love to fight, and so they want to appease that action. But, sorry, I didn't necessarily mean to say for, like, this current game. If they were to ever do a Darktide 2, which I don't know how likely that is, but if there ever was a second Darktide game, I would love to see orcs as the main enemy faction, because I think that Fat Shark would do that extremely well. One of my favorite things about Fat Shark in the way that they do 40K is that they marry the like concept of, you know, because obviously 40K started as satire and everything. It's supposed to have a little bit of a like tongue-in-cheek comedic edge to it. I love how they marry that with the grimdark and just do both of them so well. I would love to see Fat Shark take on representing orcs in a game, because I think that they would just hands down knock it out of the park with making them the actual like horrifying monstrosities that they are, instead of the way that orcs are usually depicted, which is like really, really goofy. I don't necessarily want to hate on the goofy thing with orcs, but I would just love to see somebody else do something a little bit different, and I think that Fat Shark would do it really well. Tired game where you play as orcs? Oh no. Darktide 2 will be in around 10 years from now? Yeah. You can be scary. No, you can't be scary and goofy, and that's why I think that Fat Shark would do it. Just fucking knock it out of the park. Because like I said, they still keep that like comedic tongue-in-cheek element, you know, that exists in Warhammer, whether it's 40K or fantasy. They do that really well, but also still do a really good job at like keeping it grim, dark, and disgusting, and you know, big old pit of hopeless oppression and everything like that. Give a kidney if we can have AdMech with a shock or electric gun pistol. I was kind of hoping if it was Hiveganger, just because like Hivegangers, for the really, really rich ones, can be known to have plasma pistols. And I know that's a big thing that people have had on their wish list, is like, I really, really want to see a plasma pistol weapon. Thank you. So part of me was like, oh, I wonder if they'll do that. And they did not. I also was kind of hoping that they would do Laslock guns. Because Laslock guns, especially Laslock muskets, are single shot, you know, like really slow firing, single shot kind of thing. But because they're usually scrapped together out of like old, you know, old pieces of weapons left over from like the fucking Horus Heresy era, and then cobbled back together into something usable. Oh shit. Oh god. they, like, usually their, you know, power supplies and everything are super unstable. And so they're really, really powerful to the point where they also might explode in your hands, take your fucking face off. But, yeah, I was hoping that Laszlox could also possibly be on the table. And maybe someday they will, because hopefully there'll be a more open pool of, oh fuck, potential weapons in the future for this class rather than, you know, something like, again, RBDs or something like that. Or Ogrins, where by the tabletop they have a very small availability pool.
Don't hurry or anything. No problem,
Laszlock would have been funny. Hive ganger fills the role of mafia, normal gangs, cartels, private militaries. Yeah, actually, something that I plan on putting in a lore video, because I'm gonna do an actual lore thing on, man, this is not our day today, is it? Like, we're on a damnation and we're struggle busting. Oh, dude, that's it! Oh, the boy's still up! Oh, ow. So, something that I know people who are in the know of 40k lore and stuff have been asking for a while is, where's the PDF? Where's the Planetary Defense Force for Atoma? Because that would normally be present in, you know, on a planet like this in an invasion situation. One, I'm not sure if that's what the Mobian 21st is. I don't think so. But anyways, two, actually hive gangs are usually in situations where you have like a really powerful hive gang or multiple powerful hive gangs, since they command like so many people and they can make so many fucking problems for like the nobility, the magistrate, the governance of a planet. It isn't uncommon for them to be named the PDF and essentially given that role, and then it's their responsibility in times of strife and hardship like this for them to show up and essentially be the first line defense fighting force for the planet. So I'm gonna expand on that in a lore video about hive gang, because like obviously I did it for RBDs, I'm gonna do it for this, talk about, you know, like what the potential lore implication is, what the usual background information is on hive gangs and their place in 40k, stuff like that. But that is also something to consider, is that there is the potential that these hive gangs may be connected to the Planetary Defense Force. It'd be really funny, the next class being the crazy hive noble. We'll see. Not to mention the nobility are often tightly intertwined with gangs. That's also true. Just assume the fellas we see on the maps are PDF. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Mobian 21st is or not. I think they're just pure Militarum. I think that it might be something that Rannick pulled. Essentially, like, you know, from the Administratum saying, like, I need a contingency of Militarum. You wonder if the Stingray engine can't handle AdMech stuff? I don't know. I think that if they could do like Corellian's Vine Wall and stuff like that in Vermintide 2, being able to lift enemies, stuff like that, I don't see why it couldn't handle it in Darktide. You'd like a heavy weapons class, just focusing on giant guns, melta, las, cannons, heavy bolter, that sort of thing? How many regiments is this one planet? Well, it's Chance, this is the Mobian domain. So Atoma Prime is just one planet on the domain, like within the domain. That's why there are so many different, like, essentially Mobian regiments, because like it's actually a giant chunk of space in the Segmentum Solar. Hello, Extra Ducks. Noble houses can even be gangs in their own right. It's true. Give me Ogre and a minigun. AdMech would be so good. Instead of radiating the faith of the Emperor, Reject would be radiating. Just period. Class breakdown on Steam looks good. I'll have to go check it out, but I do have things that I have to do. I have to go like run errands and go to the store, pick up my son from school, stuff like that. I just want to drop in for a little bit and get to watch the trailer, hang out, talk about it a little bit, and get a couple games in. But I will be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time because I am going to be playing the new Vermintide 2 map on stream. That I believe is like an early access thing that unfortunately you won't be able to join in, but you know, we can check that out because it's the River Reich map but reimagined, which I'm actually excited for because that was one of my favorite maps in Vermintide 2. And then you know, maybe we'll do some Chaos Waste or something in the live build, but yeah, and then also I'll have my regular Darktide stream tomorrow night. So I'm going to be doing 2 streams tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific. The old lady voice. All right. Well, that's going to be it for me. Before I go, thank you, Atrodamus, Dr. Pershing, Lemon Iced Tea, Matthias Nielsen for the follows. Thank you, BZ Burnix, for the bits. Thank you, Cosmic Headache, for the sub. Merleon CEO Norman Osborne. Weskier, thank you for the follows over on Twitch. Weskier and Nurgle, thank you for the subs. Mad Dragons, thank you for the follow. Disnosaurus Rex, Daruda Sandstorm backwards. If you play Sandstorm backwards, is there like an evil message in there? Thank you for the follow. Sam, thank you for the sub. Audra, thank you for the sub. And Ironhead, thank you for the follow. And thank you guys all for hanging out and having this conversation. I think it's important. And I mean, we'll see how things shake out. Like I said, I haven't gotten to touch the class yet. We'll see what it ends up being like. But until tomorrow, mwah. I love you guys. I will see you later on down the road. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow. Okay, bye!